Well, Fox 11 is digging deeper into the high cost of higher education. For millions of Americans, getting a college degree is part of their dreams, but it can easily become a financial nightmare. Student loan debt in America is at a record $1.2 trillion. That's an 84% jump since the 2008 recession. Fox 11's Andrew LaCombe looks into how and why Americans accumulated so much student debt.
2005.
Stories like Nicole Katner's have become the new normal.
I'm probably at like $74,000 for 6 years of school.
$74,000 of student debt.
Yeah, and it's a lot.
The 28-year-old Kiel native now lives in De Pere as a social worker. She has undergraduate and graduate degrees from UW Green Bay. And she's one of 40 million Americans who have at least one outstanding student loan, an increase of 11 million since 2008. An average graduate leaves school with about $27,000 of debt.
You know, the college debt, it's just that dark cloud that's over you all the time. And, you know, you sit there and think, how am I going to buy a car? Can I afford my apartment on my own? Do I need to have roommates? When am I going to be able to buy a house?
Financial planners hear these concerns every day.
Student loans are just, they're mounting to the point where people have to change their lifestyle going into retirement. And I do think that this is potentially a train wreck that needs to be corrected over the next handful of years.
One reason for all the debt: more Americans are going to college. The most recent national numbers from fall 2013 show total undergraduate enrollment was 17.5 million students, an increase of 46% from 1990.
The main driving force is that the difference in your life, if you have a college degree versus not having a college degree, is immense.
And economist Kevin Quinn of St. Norbert College points out tuition has been rising at roughly double the rate of inflation. The facts from the College Board show across the U.S., the average in-state tuition for public four-year universities is 42% higher than it was 10 years ago and more than twice as high as it was 20 years ago. For private nonprofit four-year schools, the increases were 24% over 10 years and 66% over 20. For public two-year schools, the jump was 28% over 10 years and 59% over 20 years.
It takes more and more and more to run a college than it used to. We need more people. Those people are more expensive. Okay, people that have advanced degrees in a lot of different fields have other options outside of higher ed.
Students often make their decisions based on college amenities, so universities also spend more to build attractive facilities. Here are some more facts to consider. While students at for-profit colleges represent only about 13% of the total higher education population, they make up about 31% of all student loans and nearly half of all loan defaults. Meanwhile, interest rates on federal student loans right now range from about 4.3% to nearly 7%, higher than many rates on car loans and mortgages. And the increase in debt comes as income levels for most highly educated workers have been flat. Considering all of this, some former students now admit they ignored the reality of their financial aid plans.
I put the price of education, you know, what I would gain out of it, and that piece of paper that I could put on my resume, and, you know, the networks that I would make, as that was invaluable to me. So I didn't care how much I was investing in it.
And now Katner expects to deal with her debt dilemma for years to come. Andrew LaCombe, Fox 11 News.
Well, our coverage on this issue continues all week long. We'll also hear how student debt is not just confined to younger Americans. And later in the week, a closer look at alternatives to four-year schools. And if you want to take a closer look as well at the numbers, you can go to our website that Andrew had mentioned. Just go to fox11online.com. You can click on the story on our homepage.